You found the house, desert views, granite countertops, master planned community, everything on the checklist. Water was not on the checklist. It should have been the first line. Somewhere on this list is a neighborhood of homes worth up to $800,000 where the water was simply switched off on New Year's Day. No warning, no transition period, no backup plan. Nearly 700 households, one ordinary morning. Real families in real homes with real mortgages, and the tap just stopped. The mechanisms vary across these 10 cities. Water certificates frozen mid-boom, out-of-state investors draining aquifers for pistachio orchards, earth fissures opening nearly 2 miles long, ground sinking 19 feet, houses physically splitting in half. But the direction is the same in every case. Water going down, prices following. 10 Arizona cities. From the one still pretending nothing is wrong to the one where it already happened. Hit like, subscribe, and let's go. You got priced out of Phoenix. Pinal County looked like the answer. Affordable, newly built, room to grow. Number 10, Coolidge. The state of Arizona concluded in writing, this region lacks enough guaranteed groundwater for unlimited new construction. It stopped issuing the 100-year water adequacy certificates that new subdivisions legally require. The market heard that. Roughly half of all sellers are now accepting below asking price. Buyer leverage has shifted. Arizona put its water doubt into an official government document, not a forecast, a decision. That document now sits behind every listing in this market. If you bought in Coolidge expecting appreciation, the state's written withdrawal of water confidence is the reason your buyer pool keeps shrinking. The next city built its brand around water and is watching it decline. Number 9, Lake Havasu City. This town bought the London Bridge stone by stone and rebuilt it in the Arizona desert. The brand is water. That brand is now the liability. Home values down approximately 7.5% in 1 year. Mojave County down close to 9% over 3 years. Among the steepest declines in the state. Listings sitting, sellers cutting. 7 states are fighting over the Colorado River because there is not enough for existing commitments. The river this city is named for is the most contested water resource in the American West. If you own waterfront property as a long-term hold, your thesis depends on a river 7 states are working to reduce. The next market paid a premium to escape and still took a 15% haircut. You moved to Flagstaff to escape the desert. 7,000 feet, ponderosa pines, actual snow, ski slopes at Snow Bowl. You paid the premium because altitude felt like protection. Number 8, Flagstaff. Median home price dropped to approximately $630,000, a fall of roughly 15% in 1 year. Homes that used to sell in a month now sit for more than 2. That is Arizona's most expensive residential market, taking a 15% annual drop. The forces compressing desert markets operate statewide regardless of elevation, pine cover, or premium pricing. Altitude is not immunity. Every Arizona market priced below Flagstaff should be paying close attention to that 15% number right now. The next town shows what happens when outside investors find an aquifer before locals realized it was for sale. More than 99% of the farmland in the Hualapai Valley near Kingman is controlled by outside operations. Read that first. Number 7, Kingman. Since approximately 2014, nearly 200 agricultural wells have been drilled into that valley. 16 billion gallons lost per year, beyond what nature restores. Local officials confirmed 4 times more water leaves than returns. Government scientists project levels dropping well over 100 feet in coming decades. Kingman and Mojave County prices are down close to 9% over 3 years. Those investors grow pistachios for consumers who will never visit. Locals receive the depleted aquifer and falling values. Investors receive the harvest. If you own property near Kingman, local officials confirm the 4-to-1 extraction ratio on record. The next city shows what developers do when the state closes that loophole. Arizona stopped issuing 100-year water certificates for Pinal County subdivisions. Developers in Casa Grande responded with a workaround. Number 6. Casa Grande. Hundreds of build-to-rent communities permitted in a short window using a structure that sidestepped assured water supply requirements. When the loophole becomes the business model, the rules are biting. Resale prices slipped approximately 4 to 5%. Homes sitting roughly 3 months. One of the largest price drops in the Phoenix region. Residents in build-to-rent communities, approved after the certificate freeze, may live in housing that bypass the 100-year water verification required of homes for sale. If you rent in one of those developments, ask whether your building's water was verified to the same standard ownership requires. The next city skipped the workaround. Prices and water fell together. You got priced out of Phoenix. Maricopa looked like the answer. Affordable, newly built, manageable commute. The fine print skipped water. Number 5. Maricopa. Average home value down more than 8% in 1 year. Median sale price around $340,000. Homes taking more than 100 days to sell. Approximately 44% of all homes selling below asking. Arizona put its water shortage analysis in writing. A government document concluding this region faces a multi-million acre-foot groundwater shortfall over the next century. The market is tracking the water table downward in near-perfect synchronization. If you bought expecting appreciation, 44% of your neighbors accepting below asking, and 100-day sell times are the market's answer to the state's own analysis. The next city grew so fast, it forgot to check the water. Before, one of the fastest growing cities in America. New rooftops, master-planned communities, cranes across the Sonoran Desert. After, values down more than 11% in 1 year. Number 4. Buckeye. The state modeled the Hassayampa Basin and found more than 4 million acre-feet of demand that cannot be met over the next 100 years. Buckeye became a primary example in Arizona's 2023 decision to stop approving groundwater-dependent subdivisions. Inventory over 7 months. Homes sitting roughly 3 months. The formal written finding arrived after thousands of buyers had already signed. If you bought a groundwater-dependent Buckeye home in the last 5 years, your purchase rests on a water assumption your state has formally rejected. The next city shows what happens when the water leaves long enough for the ground to move. Number 3. Eloy. The ground has been sinking since the 1940s. Not slowly. 19 feet of total subsidence within 1 human lifetime, because sustained groundwater extraction removed structural support beneath the surface. South of Eloy, one earth fissure measured nearly 2 miles long, 10 feet wide, and approximately 27 feet deep. A canyon that opened not over geological time, but inside 1 generation of heavy pumping. The water table is projected to fall nearly 1,000 feet over the coming century. Homes sitting approximately 5 months on market. Buyers are nervous. If you are evaluating property near Eloy and the listing does not mention earth fissures, the listing is incomplete. The next town's wells went dry, the houses cracked open, and a state hydrologist put 280 years on the record. One Willcox resident testified that the ground beneath her home sank so unevenly, the house is now physically split in half. Unsellable, unsafe. Her single largest asset cracked clean open by water that is no longer there. Number 2. Willcox. Groundwater dropped more than 400 feet since the 1950s. Nearly 49 miles of earth fissures across the basin. Ground sank between 47 and 55 inches in just 14 years. Residents paid over $14,000 drilling deeper. Some still came up dry. A state hydrologist testified, if every pump stopped today, the aquifer takes more than 280 years to recover. If you own in the Willcox Basin, That 280-year figure is the document your agent never mentioned. The next entry is what this looks like when it arrives on a specific date. January 1st, 2023. That is the date, not a projection. A date on a calendar. Number 1, Rio Verde Foothills. Unincorporated desert outside Scottsdale. Homes worth up to $800,000. Between 500 and 700 households with approximately 1,000 residents had no independent water source. They relied on water trucked in from Scottsdale. On New Year's Day, Scottsdale terminated that arrangement. No transition, no backup. Families timed showers with a stopwatch, drove 100-mile round trips hauling water in plastic tanks. One resident spent $14,000 building a rooftop rainwater harvesting system. Million-dollar homes catching rain in barrels. A special state bill created a temporary standpipe district for up to 750 households. Temporary, a few years. If you own property whose water supply depends on a neighboring city's continued willingness to provide it. January 1st, 2023 is the case study you need before you sign anything. From Coolidge's frozen certificates to Eloy's 19 feet of subsidence. From a Willcox resident's house split in half to Rio Verde families hauling water in plastic tanks on New Year's Day. 10 cities, 1 desert, same math. Arizona's own state government put a multi-million acre-foot groundwater shortfall in writing for Pinal County alone. A government document, not advocacy. That document existed before some of these homes were built and was not in the listing. The cities winning in Arizona are the ones that treated water as the only asset that actually matters. Scottsdale, Queen Creek. They bought water rights, secured supply, and their prices reflect it. If you are buying anywhere in Arizona and the water supply is not backed by a verified 100-year adequacy certificate or a demonstrated independent source, that is the only question that determines everything else. Hit like. Share this before someone signs without asking. Subscribe for more investigations. Comment below. Which city shocked you most?